Let's go.
No?
Yep, we're back.
Okay, so apparently the video cut off, so this is the part 2 or whatever, but 2 double strikes because most of the games are closing out with it, but also by playing 2 copies of it, it lets you swing with your Bardock or your or Vegeta 3-drop that are crits. So you could combo to 25 or 29 double strike crit as early as turn 1 or turn 2. On top of all the pressure you're already doing, that's 2 cards you're not getting back, on top of the fact that they're just dealing with a constant barrage of attacks. I won more games with the double strike than literally anything else this weekend.
So now, is there a reason why we're playing the East, the Sky, over the Champa Furthering Destruction?
It's there's literally no difference. I own a foil copy of this.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to see if there's any preference. Oh, yes, of course.
This card, I hate this card with a passion, but I can't say that it didn't win me a lot of games. I don't think this card needs any explanation. You could use either this or the Heroine SCR. I was going to use the Heroine SCR, but I didn't use the Heroine SCR because I was running late on day 1 of Swiss, and I literally had to write my deck list in 5 minutes or I'd take a game 1 loss. So I didn't get a chance to take this out for the Heroine SCR. So I kept this in, which ended up, I guess, helping me out. There was a lot of times where I just played it and then just swung with it and comboed Champa, or just played it, and it just completely turned the direction of the way the
Turned the tide?
Yes, it turned the tide more than Android 17.
Yep. All right, it's an amazing card. We all know about that.
And right here's another SCR. This card is so broken. Oh my god, I do not own this card, and this card is probably gonna spike after this deck profile. This card is a staple in King Vegeta. This is a 25k combo that triggers your leader on top of all the negging you do. So many games were won off of this card. Also, your leader has to be red, but your battle card doesn't have to be red. So there's been games where I will combo this on SS4 Bardock fighting against Fate, and now it's a 40k to their neg 10. Because you just need to have a red leader, but it chooses any of your battle cards. Also, you cannot use it on the Deer in Unison because it doesn't work on Unisons.
Fire.
This card was so broken. This card makes you even more unkillable. It just provides so much defense, triggers all your effects. It's free. This card is just amazing. This card is literally the best negate in the deck. And 3 Valiant Rays. This card was absolutely terrible. I literally cited it out every single game. Like it's a great card against Dark Brawler. I didn't play a single Dark Brawler this weekend. This card's terrible against Mecha. It's terrible against Vegeta. It's terrible against every deck that I played. I cited it out every game.
So overall, how did you feel about the tournament?
Oh, I still have my side deck, my super.
Oh, okay. We still got side deck. Let's roll.
So my super incomplete side deck. So like I was saying earlier, I slept in. I was running late. I was gonna take a game 1 loss if I didn't submit my deck list. So my side deck, I literally did not finish siding it out. So my side deck was literally 2 Trunks to Lugia Power.
Oh yeah.
So this guy is basically another, he's a super combo. When you combo with a red battle card, either on defense or offense, it gains a 5k combo. Shout out to Eddie for suggesting this card to me. This card is absolutely busted. This card is beyond busted. Every game that I played it, I won. The only reason I do not main deck this card is because if they steal it, you just straight out lose the game. So I side it game 2 once I see what SCR they're playing. If I see they're not playing the Heroine, I side this in every game. This card is beyond nuts. Another Frieza Death Ball. Just because it's a good card and I needed cards for my side before I submitted my deck list. 2 Topos for extra defense. Be very careful when using this with Young Invaders because once you activate Young Invaders, you cannot Topo. So be very cautious of that. I learned that the hard way in my semifinals match where I accidentally Topoed after I had done Young Invaders. Obviously, if I had woken up on time and I had been able to submit my actual side deck, I would have had Kaioken Gokus, Koitsukais, Mechikabra, what's it called, Broly Crown, you know, the just typical generic good red cards or generic good side cards. Maybe Black Mass Saiyan for King Piccolo. So yeah, that's my King Piccolo deck. Shout out to literally I do not own most of this deck. Most of this deck was literally borrowed to me. Shout out to Nick and Kylie from Bakersfield. Shout out to Evan for letting me borrow the TPs. Shout out to Mel and her husband Josh for letting me borrow the TP. Shout out for Kevin Queens for letting me borrow the core of the deck. Shout out for Seraphim and his son for letting me borrow one of the TPs. And shout out to basically Team FOE. Shout out to Eddie for testing with me. Shout out for everyone that was testing King Vegeta with me. Eric, bro, you know who you are, Master Saiyan King, Green Gohan King. Shout out to Ryan from Topo Loco once again for testing with me. Shout out to everyone that suggested King Vegeta because it is a deck that I really enjoy. It's a very aggro deck. It's kind of OP, and I do really enjoy playing it.
So over the weekend, what matchup do you think you had the most trouble with?
I struggled against King Piccolo, but I don't know if it's because I actually struggled against it, but because I got a game 1 loss. Okay. And so I was going into, it was top cut, so I was going into game 2 with already a game loss because of like the side deck issues.
Right.
And he drew, and we had to make it random, so he won the die roll and he drew the God Hand. And I wanted to, like, if it was a normal game, I would have just scooped and would have gone in game 2. But I couldn't because I technically got a game 1 loss. So that made that game beyond stressful because I had to win through his God Hand with my not so good position. So that was definitely my toughest matchup because of that. I played Red Green Launch in the semifinals. That matchup was very weird because he rushed me incredibly hard. Like on game 1, turn 1, he got me down to like 3 life. But because of that, he tapped out and I was able to like kill him back on my turn. So it was just a very weird game. Red Green Launch felt like, it just felt kind of like a die roll. It's like whoever can OTK the other person first would win that matchup. Mecha, so I played 2 mechas. I played 1 mecha in Swiss and then I played Fuji in the finals. The guy played in Swiss, I beat him. I won the whole match in 10 minutes because I just rushed him down. Fuji was a lot more difficult because I kind of had an idea of what he was trying to do. He was trying to lock me down. Game 1, he locked me down with the SS4 Goku. And then he just spammed a bunch of attackers while I was tapped out. I couldn't, King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, which was the MVP negate of the deck. So because of that, I struggled quite a bit against that deck. I had to play really, really weird against his. I had to stay at 8 life the whole game because I just literally attack him all game because I knew that he would get most of his opponents from 4 to 0 in a single turn. Once he has his Bojack, his Mecha Frieza doing Mecha Frieza thing, he tap you out, all that good stuff. I played against the Vegex in Swiss, and that was actually somewhat difficult. I beat him 2-1, and both of my games I won by literal 5k combo power. Like both games, he got to like 49. One game he got 49 with the King Vegeta, the one from Mechikabra that Vegex you can use now. He got to 49 and I got to 50, and then the next game I out-comboed again by 5k. So that one was very, very close.
So what was the easiest deck? What do you think that you just handled super easily?
I feel like it's Mecha Frieza depending on the player. Like if it's a player that's just as good as you, it's very hard. But if it's someone where the skill level is like there's a gap between you and the other person, it just feels like you just auto win Mecha Frieza. What else did I play? I'm trying to think, but I can't remember what I played. I know I played Vegex. I didn't play any King Vegeta mirrors. I was one of the only 3 people here that had King Vegeta in the tournament. I think it was like 40-something people.
Well, it sounds like you did very good. I heard there was a cooler deck that made the top 4, and you played it in practice. What happened when you played the cooler deck?
Nothing that people need to know about. I'm sure the cooler player will tell you what happened when he does his cooler deck profile.
Oh, man. Anyways, Juha, it's been a freaking wonderful pleasure.
I gotta do my shout-outs.
Go ahead,
I gotta shout out my team FOE PPG. Finals was Super Players versus FOE, and I took it for Team FOE. Shout out to everyone on the team. I have a lot shout outs to everyone that came with me, all my Bakersfield friends. Shout out, like, again, everyone that let me borrow the cards, everyone that suggested I play King Vegeta, Zeke, Josh, and Mel for running a great event. Shout out to all my opponents. And
yeah, well, it's been excellent interviewing you. This is obviously a wonderful deck. Congratulations on winning the PPG and winning the championship belt. And we can't wait to hear from what you're going to do next. So this is Josh signing out from the profile deck of Juha, King Vegeta, and everyone late.